This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
You are listening to the world-famous 99X, and we have the world-famous Dr. Taz in studio. Center Springs MD is what it's called right now, but what will you be called now?
Whole Plus.
When?
It's going to start September 1.
Oh, Whole Plus.
Whole Plus.
So a big rebrand. She's got a podcast. She's a contributor on the Today Show, and Whole Plus is the name of the podcast and YouTube show.
Aging and longevity. Let's talk about that for men and all the men that are listening right now. Give us some recommendations, because as men get older, you see some men who actually look better when they get older and healthier.
Yeah.
Any recommendations for longevity?
Definitely. And I know I've got some amazing male patients, and they are ultimate biohackers. They are cold plunging and doing cryo and
I can't do the cold plunge.
And all this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But if we want to simplify the message around longevity, it's really about a couple of different things: keeping inflammation down, building muscle and keeping muscle, and then really managing your gut health and your nutrient load. I think it's really down to those key concepts. And I think when men skip those steps, we see them age much more rapidly, whether that's, losing hair, their skin, their energy, and so many other things. So when it comes to longevity, I think we need to tie it back to how do we optimize your nutrition, right? Mm-hmm. Because one of the things that happens as we age, the cells literally shrink. If you can imagine all these cells in your body, they're shrinking and shrinking and shrinking because they don't have the energy they need to do what they used to do before. So you've got to supply them with that energy, again, through the right food. Things like light therapy, we're learning more and more about. That's where things like sauna and infrared light and red light therapy are really making a difference. And then we understand, in that context, really, again, matching someone to what they're missing. Many people have genetically based deficiencies. They're low in B vitamins. You mentioned Boost, for example. Boost is a multi-B, essentially, is what it is. And really, again, helping with that idea of providing energy to the cell. So I think we need to think, how do we provide the body with cellular energy? What does your body need? How do we preserve muscle? And how do we keep this concept of inflammation down? If you can knock through those three ideas, those are the men that are looking good and feeling good before we even get into things like peptides and hormone replacement and IV therapy and, the whole toolbox that's out there right now.
Well, speaking on aging, we played this clip a couple of weeks ago. I want to get your opinion on this. This is a Harvard professor. His name is David Sinclair. And
yes, I know him.
You do? Yeah, okay. Well, I want to get your take, because when you listen to this less than 1 minute clip, you're like, what? But I think you can speak on it better than any of us, so I'd love to know your interpretation.
It's 2035. Have we reached some state of age reversal technology that truly works?
I think we can either go into the doctor and have an injection of that genetic material, and we become transgenic humans, that we can turn on these three youthful Yamanaka genes, they're called. And every time we want to get rejuvenated or we have an injury, we need to heal quickly, we turn them on. How do you do that? Well, we've engineered it so you can just take an antibiotic for a few weeks. That's what I can see happening with already technology that's going into humans. If we're successful in what we're doing in my lab, these AI-generated molecules are mimicking that. So the reason for having a molecule rather than a gene therapy is not only are they cheap, you can just swallow it and they evenly go throughout the body typically. And so imagine in 10 years, you just take a pill for 4 weeks and you get younger. I can see how this is going to happen. That's what we're working towards in my lab.
Take a pill for 4 weeks and get younger?
I don't know about
that. We'll see. Science is evolving.
We'll see, yeah.
Science is evolving very rapidly. I will say that. The entire world of stem cell, and stem cell research and the regeneration that can occur with stem cells is fascinating, no matter what you think politically or ideologically. But it is fascinating, and we are seeing reversal of many different conditions when you use something like stem cells. Now, can we bottle it up into a pill? I don't know. out of my wheelhouse and out of my area of expertise for sure. But I do know researchers are working on things like this. But that takes us away from the basics. Aging is reversible. Absolutely. Aging's on a spectrum. I always say it's a highway. You can speed down the road to getting old, or you can kind of turn it around and actually look better, in your 40s and 50s than you did in your 20s and 30s.
Amazing.
But again, the basics are the basics, like really getting the food component right, getting really that inflammatory piece down and where it needs to be, and providing the cells with the energy they need. Then you step into the world of this advanced technology and regeneration and stem cells and peptides and stuff like that. But again, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 approach, not like all hands, I'm going straight for the pill and I'm not going to do all this other stuff.
Well, I didn't hear you mention Diet Coke.
I was getting ready to bring that up.
I am down to 9 a day. I'm kidding. I'm down.
We're in Atlanta, so
I'm down.
Right.
I did want to ask you, because I take a lot of magnesium.
Yeah.
That's good for you, right?
Oh my gosh, magnesium is a miracle micronutrient. That's my name for it. I feel like we are all deficient. 100% of us are deficient. It's not in the soil anymore because we've robbed the soil of key minerals and essential elements like magnesium. So when you go to test people, they are often low in magnesium. So most people can benefit from magnesium. So yes, short answer is yes.
Okay, all the recovery stuff, the cold plunge, I just can't do it. I tried the
plunge either.
You stand in the box and get cold.
Yeah.
You did that.
Yeah.
Was that good?
I did it, but hold on, I'm going to show you something. I didn't feel like, I was like, I don't feel any different. Have you seen these yet?
Yes, I have.
I'm holding up the
What is
Nike
this?
Hyper Ice. Look how big this is, Leslie. This is the Nike Hyper Ice boot, because I'm a world-class pickleball player.
Are you really?
No.
What is that good for? What is this Nike thing boot good for?
Leslie, listen, you can hear it start up. Hang on.
What?
So this compresses your foot and heats your foot at the same time.
Nice.
It squeezes your heel in the back of so basically it's like a warm-up before you play or whatever, and then a helpful thing after. But like Normatec is another one. You have the cold plunge like we mentioned. What of these things that you know of are actually legit? Because this feels legit.
Well, I mean, I think there's so many devices, right? And they're helpful to an extent, right? I love this for warming up the Achilles.
Circulation, right?
Circulation. Well, the Achilles too, right? Gets very weak in all of us that play pickleball. So I think I love it for warming up that area and prepping you for things. There are many devices that are legit when they're using heat and red light and, massage techniques and stuff like that. Again, do you need 20 devices? Probably not. You need to, again, hyper-focus and target on a couple of things that really make you feel better and you notice the difference, and then move forward from there.
Barnes, were you just trying to get Dr. Taz to justify the fact that you just bought those?
No, but we're going to have the guys on who made them in a couple of weeks.
Cool.
And I want to find out about, because there are a lot of tennis players in Atlanta, and I think with a lot of Achilles problems and strains that they could actually be really helpful. And you can use your HSA to pay for them.
Yes, you can.
So that's a Barnes pro tip.
Yep.
Dr. Taz is here from Whole Springs. Now I'm Center Springs MD, and it's going to be called
Whole Plus.
Whole Plus. Yeah, I got so many brands floating in my head. So we're talking men's health. What are 2 to 3 of the most impactful dietary changes that we men can make to significantly improve our health?
Yeah.
If you had to say, these 3 things.
Yeah.
Increase your plant-based fiber, right? So fiber from fruits and vegetables. Decrease your meat consumption down to 4 to 6 ounces 1 to 2 times a day.
Well, then where are you getting the rest of your protein?
6 ounces of protein have about 20 to 30 grams 6 ounces of meat have about 20 to 30 grams of protein. So if you're doing that 2 times a day, then you need to have other supplemental sources. Otherwise, it's very difficult for the gut to digest all of that. So if you are bodybuilding or weightlifting, you may need a protein shake. You may need to add some of these other sources in addition. But heavy servings of meat are really hard for the gut to digest, hard to break down, and do drive cholesterol levels up, right? So it's about balance.
Right.
We don't want no meat, but we want the right
Balance.
amount.
And what's the third thing?
And then the third I would say is, I said it earlier, but reduce alcohol, and I would try to get that down to under about 4 to 6 servings a week. So,
do you drink?
Not really.
No? If you did, what would you drink?
Oh, I like all the fruity, fun stuff, the cocktails and all
Wow,
that
the
stuff.
sugar.
So, I know. So that's why I'll take 2 sips and be done. So
Alcohol, wine. Is wine okay?
Everything's okay. Honestly, everything's okay as long as you're keeping it under 4 drinks per week.
She just gave us permission, Barnes, for 4 drinks per week.
Absolutely.
And how many Diet Cokes a week?
No comment.
Damn it.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
The No Contest Wrestling Podcast.
I am the heel that you love to hate, O'Shea Jackson Jr.
TJ Jefferson, what up? Friends of the show are really wanting to engage with this podcast.
From AJ Francis.
They were like, we just want you to cause a ruckus. So I went out there, did my own version of a pipe bomb, and it went everywhere.
Wrestling royalty right here. Mick Foley. Anything that you're glad that it's gone?
Well, glad the chair shots to the head are gone.
The No Contest Wrestling Podcast, part of the Rich Eisen Podcast Network.
Can you tell them where to find us?
Man. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
How often should someone like Barnes or any of the men listening be seeing someone like you?
Minimum twice a year.
Twice a year?
Twice a year.
That's good to know, Barnes.
So the old school once a year physical is no longer in play?
No, it needs to be twice a year. We need to understand where your cholesterol levels are heading, where your testosterone's going, what your blood sugar is doing, what your blood pressure looks like, what your nutrients are doing. If you're going to wait year to year, you're going to have damage over that year if you're waiting a whole year before we find something. I'd rather know the trajectory of what you're doing twice a year so that we can catch earlier when there's a change.
That makes sense.
Happens,
How have we always heard that it's like your annual physical? You go in for your...
People should prioritize their health. That's really not a lot if you think about twice a year.
Twice a year is not that bad.
Right.
You go to a restaurant a couple times a week, right?
Oh, I know, but it's a longer Have you sped up the process? Like when you go in?
Everyone's actively trying to speed up the process.
I bet.
But speed, and we should talk about that, speed leads to mistakes. Speed leads to not understanding the patient completely.
Right.
And so if you really are trying to take a holistic approach, it's not about speed, it's about accuracy and really having somebody understand who they are, what they need to do. That's both the doctor and the patient. I think putting these doctors under the pressure of speed and volume and production is killing medicine. And so we all need to change our mindset around that a little bit.
Wow, this is such a wealth of information, Dr. Taz. Thank you for coming on the show. We always love
thank you for having me.
Having you
Invaluable.
on. And of all your branding, which would you like to plug on your way out? How do you want to plug it?
I would just say welcome to Whole Plus.
Okay.
Our ecosystem is for everybody to enter this journey, whether they just want to read our content, watch the show.
Got it.
Do a quiz, whatever. That we have assessments on the website, or they want to be a patient. It's all there.
Oh, so it's live now.
It is. The website is live. It's not perfect, so
Got it.
I don't
Okay,
love it at the moment, but it's getting there. But,
All right.
but we're changing all the names over, or you'll see the changes over the next 3 or 4 months.
Congratulations, Dr. Taz, on all your success.
Yeah, we can't thank you enough. Thank you.
Thank you. This is the original. This is 99X.
Jim Rome takes on sports.
Why? Because you're not playing me.
With rapid fire takes
and a lot to get to, and I'm not sure you're going to like all of it. Honestly, I don't even care if you like all of it or not. I have a job to do.
Scorching debates.
On any given week, you have lots to beef about. Take advantage of it. Get up in here.
He's the Spitfire of sports smack.
She's not my fault. We will get to all of that.
The Jim Rome Show podcast.
Get up in here, and we'll beef later on. What's your beef?
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
You've been warned.